Hello, my name is Malaya, and this is my summit project for the Fellowship Summit from 2023 to 2024. So, who am I? Obviously, I'm Malaya Munar. I just said that. I'm a senior at Pinole Valley High School, and I'm the Media and Communication Fellows for this year. I started in the summer of 2022, and one big thing that I learned from that summer program is how environmental justice and capitalism both connect together. But what is capitalism before we start off with anything, since this whole presentation is about it? Capitalism is the private ownership of resources, it's wealth creation. If you know that one phrase, the rich get richer, that's exactly what it is. Everyone must work for their own gain, resulting in people turning to unethical ways to get rich, which is exactly what we're going to dive into for this presentation. So what have I learned? So I did a survey at Pinole Valley High School in order to get a better grasp of how capitalism affects people within the Bay Area in our community. And I found that a majority of them were middle class people. And they said that TikTok and Instagram have the highest influence on them as well. So one of the questions I asked them was, how likely are you to follow a brand new trend? And all of them said that they wouldn't be likely to follow it. But out of the 38 people that I asked to take this survey, 37 of them said that they had bought from Amazon, 23 said they bought from Shein, and 15 said that they bought from Temu. And then when I asked them, how did you feel after you purchased from a variety of those websites? They said that a majority of them felt neutral and dismissive, having no emotions at all. And then a small percentage of them, 35%, said that they felt happy from the good deals. And obviously that's very bad. But when I asked them later on, which of these have you done before, such as gifting, visiting a resilience hub, carpooling, using public transportation, and a lot more, all of them said that they felt happy and proud of their actions right after they did that. And also, when I asked them, how often do you see peers in our community following brand new trends, such as fast fashion and other things like that? Almost all of them said that they constantly see the brand new trend in the area. So, this is obviously really, really bad because that means that there's a lot of people that are uninformed about this topic. So, I'm here to tell you about that today. So, I'm going to be telling you things about such as fast fashion, greenwashing, planned obsolescence, and a lot more as well. And then once we're done with that, we're going to play a little game, which is basically the opposite of Family Feud, which is the most well known way I can say it. So let's start off with fast fashion. What is fast fashion? Fast fashion is a major issued cause and supported by capitalism because the companies only care for profit and not the workers and not the customers. But for a second, let's focus on the workers right now. So these workers are put into awful working conditions that are oftentimes dangerous to their health and can be very bad to them because there's lots of fumes, emission, harsh working hours, and more. So here is a quote from Center for Biological Diversity. The fast fashion industry is a significant contributor to climate crisis, responsible for as much as 10% of global carbon dioxide emission, which is insane just from fast fashion and clothing alone. And then later on, I found a source from Labor Behind the Label, stating that often 10 to 14 hours a day plus forced overtime of repetitive work often leads to injuries. When pressure is on to fulfill large orders, workers can be forced to work 18 hours a day, which is extremely dangerous to their health and also the item that they're producing since it won't be as good of quality. And a majority of these people that are working for these companies are people of color and most likely poor as well. And they need these jobs to provide for their family. So, what is greenwashing? So, greenwashing is a form of advertisement or marketing spin that deceptively uses green PR and uses green marketing to persuade the public that an organization produces goals or policies that are environmentally friendly. So, one example of this that I think all of us know are water bottles. So, reusable water bottles are awesome. You should definitely get one. They're very good for the environment because it helps you by letting you refill it and using just one bottle, which helps you stop using so much plastic from the single-use plastic water bottles. But the problem is people are buying 50 of them in different colors, and this leads to lots of production costs and lots of time, especially because most of those companies that make water bottles have multiple versions in different colors, shapes, sizes, and all that type of stuff. And also, it's marketed for people to collect in the first place. That is why we have so many people raving about these Stanley cups and these Starbucks cups. So, what is planned obsolescence? So, planned obsolescence is the practice of designing products to break quickly or become obsolete to short to midterm. And I'm sure we've all experienced this before. So, one example that I think everyone can understand and relate to are the brand new iPhone. These items are made to be replaced later on in the future, and it serves as a way to keep you buying the next new product, which gets them more profit because the capitalism. But that's not just about phones and all of that other stuff. There's also for tablets, it's also for laptops, chargers, car parts, and so much more. All of these items are made with the intention that in the future you will have to buy a new one to replace it. And just like I said earlier, that's more production costs, more labor, and more pollution as well because you're throwing away those items. Exactly. That picture, exactly. Carbon footprint and capitalism are literally connected together, just like siblings, almost conjoined twins, basically. And one example that I can think of is just to describe carbon footprint as a whole is Target. Target has an insane carbon footprint. Target has created 455K tons of CO2 just from refrigerators in their stores alone. So if you think about that, you must be thinking, hmm, how high is Amazon carbon footprint? Because they produce products left and right and they ship to everywhere as well. How high is Shein Express carbon footprint since they're making clothes literally every single day and they have tons of factories around the world? How high is AliExpress's carbon footprint because they're making items left and right constantly? And they all mass produce these items as well, which will definitely lead to a higher carbon footprint. And the reason why this is so bad is because this carbon footprint leads to a worse air quality, which impacts everything. Because carbon footprint basically means that you're producing more carbon dioxide into the air, taking away from oxygen, leaving plants with less oxygen to have, leaving humans with less oxygen to have, and even animals, plants, and more, which ruins the entire biodiversity and ecosystem of all these different places. So, one more example is that Shein made 9.17 million tons of carbon dioxide in just 1 year from producing clothes. And this makes everything worse, just like how I said earlier. And it's really bad for everyone's health in the end. So, now that you know everything and you have a little bit of everything, I think it's appropriate for you to play the game now. So let's get into it. So this is my environmental justice dating simulator. Once again, this is my third dating simulator. So how it works is that there is only one round. So make sure you do really, really good at it. And there are going to be three options that you have to choose from, and you have to pick which one is the most negative from it. So whichever one's the worst, you pick, picking the red flag, basically. So first up, we have Target. Target started a brand new net zero Target store, which is really good. Good job, Target. But they have 455K tons of carbon dioxide caused by just refrigerators, not even counting all the other stuff they have. They also have 288K tons by natural gases caused from their stores and other electronics that they use. Here's a screenshot proving that as well. So not a very good choice for you to pick, which is really good for this game. Next brand is AliExpress. AliExpress ships to 155 million plus customers across their website, meaning that they're using plane and boat to ship all of these different products to different houses and so much more, meaning that there's a lot of carbon dioxide emitted just by this company and their shipping. They also steal from artists and small brands, not very environmental justice related, but more social justice related, since they steal from smaller companies that most likely don't have a higher chance of making it in the industry, especially because they steal from people of color that make those arts in the first place. They also have low labor costs and are highly suspected of child labor. Their low labor costs, the quote that I gave earlier about people working 18 hours is about AliExpress in the first place. They also have 200 million plus types of products that are produced under them, which is insane because not only are they making 200 plus items, they're then shipping that to 150 plus million people, which is an insane amount of carbon, driving, producing, and so much more. Also, a majority of the products that they make are one time use. So things like, excuse me, The things like just one-time use plastic, wrapping all of their items in one-time use plastic as well, wrapping everything in a plastic package and all of that stuff. Also, PFA chemicals they found and they are hazardous to humans, animals, and more. If you don't know what a PFA is a chemical that never breaks down. It's literally built to be immune to everything. And this is awful because you're never going to be able to let that break down, causing a lot of pollution. Our next brand is Shein. So Shein also steals some small artisan brands, just like AliExpress. They also have 180 coal-fired power plants as well, which is insane because that ruins the air quality in so many different places. They also produce up to 100,000 items daily because of how many people buy from their website. They also have 88.8 million active shoppers in 2023, and that number has only gone up since 2024, meaning that those items that they make are barely even enough to keep up with their shoppers. They also have emitted 9.17 million tons of carbon dioxide in just 1 year, in the year 2021 to 2022. And the European Union has called out Shein for their hazardous chemical use, such as, here's a quote from University of Toronto. University of Toronto scientists found that a jacket for toddlers contains 20 times the amount of lead that Health Canada says it tapes to children. So that's Canada and the European Union working together to say Shein is awful. So who do you think is the worst one? Guess who? Here's your options, right? It's Shein. Shein is the worst one due to the fact that they have all of this to the point where I even had to add a little quote at the end. They have the worst carbon footprint. They have the most, oh, sorry, my AirPod just died. Can you cut that out? Um, they have the most carbon footprint. They emit the most carbon dioxide. They ship to the most people. They have very unfair labor laws as well. The whole shebang. Awful, awful people. So if you pick Shein, you're right. Do you get a prize? No, you not get one. I'm not here to give you one. But here are some possible solutions to help fix this in the long run. So purchasing less items and being aware of what you purchase will help a lot. It'll help you from overbuying and it will help you stop pollution on your own, in your own household, which is really nice. You can also start supporting small businesses since these items are most likely made by hand, ensuring that they have fair labor laws, fair quality, and all of that other stuff. And also, they won't overbuy materials either, and they're most likely going to be around you. So you save some stuff on shipping as well. Also, just buy reusable products such as reusable Ziplocs, reusable cotton pads, and all of that stuff to avoid the one-time use thing. And also, one big thing is just transition. Just transition is a huge thing that a lot of people need to start learning. So just transition is the transition to new green ways to benefit the entire community as a whole. So this means making sure that every town has more healthy food, making sure every town has reliable energy sources, whether it be solar panels, wind planes, or more. And also moving away from high carbon and high polluting activities. So things like overbuying and all of that type of stuff would be just like just transition. So that's basically all I have for you today. And thank you so much for coming to Summit, and I hope you liked my presentation.